Hello people, welcome to my channel. I'm your trainer Yogeswari Sugumaran. Today we'll be learning about Be Verbs. So before that, I'll just walk you through what are verbs. Verbs are classified into two main categories, main verbs and auxiliary verbs. Now let's just talk about the main verbs. Now main verbs are again classified into two categories, which is regular verb and irregular verb. Now what is regular verb? Just take any word which indicates action. Example here I've given is accept. Regular verb, in order to make a past tense, you just have to add ed and it becomes the past form of the verb accept, which is accepted. But irregular verb, the formula doesn't apply there. It has its own pattern and there are 10 different types of irregular verbs which I've classified, and I'll be sharing that to you in detail in the upcoming videos. Now, moving down to auxiliary verb, we have three major categories, which is primary auxiliary, modal auxiliary, and semi-modal auxiliary. Now again, primary auxiliary is getting classified into be verbs, have verb, and do verb. Modal verbs are, modal auxiliaries are can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, and must. Semi-auxiliary, semi-modal auxiliary are ought to, has to, have to, need to, be able to, used to, be going to, be supposed to, had, better. Now, am I going to talk about all of these things in this one single video? No, it will take more than 2 hours to discuss all of these things in detail. And that's why you need to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon so that you will not miss any of the videos that I will be posting in future. So you will be getting 2 videos a week. And this is the order that I'll be discussing about all of those videos. First, today we'll go through about the be verbs, and then I'll discuss about the have verb. The next video you'll get about the do verbs, and then it goes on to modal, semi-modal auxiliary, and finally I'll jump into what is a regular verb and what are the 10 different types of irregular verbs. So there are loads of stuff coming up in your way, people. So don't miss that opportunity. I'm going to share so much of value in my YouTube channel. So let's get into the be verbs. Now, be verbs, it is, again, it has different forms, which is be, being, been, am, is, was, are, and were. What about all of these things? I'll be discussing in detail. So tighten your belt and let's get started. Now, what is be verb? Be verb talks about one's self or about others, the state of being. Now, it has 5 different forms. Now, be, which is to be, infinitive, being, which is gerund, been, which is past participle, am is was, which is present tense, are and were, which is past tense. Now, it is an irregular verb, and that's why you can't add an ed and get its past tense. It has 5 different forms. It talks about the subject, especially about the age, nationality, job, and other traits. Now coming to the present form. So present forms of be verbs are am, is, are. Now am is used for I, is used for he, she, it, are is used for they, we, you. Now past tense are was and were, was for singular, were for plural. Gerund is nothing but ing form of the verb, which is being. Past participle is been. Infinitive is to be. What is infinitive? I'm not going to discuss about that in this video because it's a huge chapter which will be discussed in the future videos. Now let's talk about a few examples. So as I told you, first person singular is am, I. Subject pronoun for first person singular is I, and the verb used is am. Be, present form. I am a teacher. I am a teacher. Now, The next one is first person plural, which is we. We, and the be verb is are. We are teachers. Second person singular and plural. For both singular and plural, we just use you. And the be form are for both singular and plural. So it gives you are teacher, or you can also use you are teachers. So that indicates whether it's a singular or plural. Now coming down to the third person plural, they, subject, pronoun, and are is the be form. They are teachers. Now third person singular, he, she, it. Here you can have any name such as Ram, Sham, and Rama. It can be any object or animal, and we use is. He is a teacher, she is a teacher, it is a book. Now moving down, we have past tense. Now past tense, singular is was, plural were. He was a teacher, they were teachers. Past participle is been. I have been a teacher for 2 years. Gerund, which is ing form, being a teacher, I should be polite. Another example is the room is being cleaned. The room is being cleaned. Now coming to the infinitive, which is to be format, I want to be healthy. It is going to be all right. Okay, now let's move to the next, which is we are going to see here the positive form and positive contraction, negative form and negative contraction. Finally, question format. Let's take an example. I am a teacher. The contraction here is I, A gets chopped off and apostrophe comes there, which is I'm a teacher. Negative, I'm not a teacher. Again, the contraction is I'm not a teacher. The question format, if you wanted to change a statement into a question, you need to take the auxiliary verb and put it in the front along with a question mark. That gives you a question, which is, am I a teacher? Second sentence, he is a teacher. The contraction, I gets chopped off and an apostrophe comes there. He's a teacher. Negative, he is not a teacher. The contraction is he's not a teacher. Again, put the auxiliary in the front and a question mark to get a question. Is he a teacher? Now coming to he was a teacher. Here there is no contraction. Let's talk about the negative. He was not a teacher. Now the contraction happens between was and not. So O gets chopped off, the space here gets closed, and an apostrophe gives you he wasn't a teacher. Again, same format, put the auxiliary in the front. Was he a teacher? Now, the final sentence, I have been a teacher for 2 years. Now here, I and have goes through contraction. HA gets chopped off and an apostrophe comes there. That becomes, I've been a teacher for 2 years. Now let's talk about the negative. I have not been a teacher. The same contraction applies. I've not been a teacher. And to make it a question, as usual, have the auxiliary verb comes in the front and a question mark at the end. So that gives you, have I been a teacher for 2 years, which is a question. So you have to make note, you have to understand the intonations as well. As I am reading this out, why am I reading this out? You need to follow the intonations as well. The statement goes like this. I am a teacher. And the question intonation is, am I a teacher? Am I a teacher? So that makes a question. Okay, Great. So we have learned a lot of things. I'm going to clear all of these things and let's move to the exercise. I have a great exercise for you in the next page. Okay, I've removed all the positive contraction, negative contractions, and question. So here, your task is to fill it up. I've given certain um, sentences for you to do it. So you have to use positive contraction, put a knot with making negative and the negative contraction, and put the auxiliary verb in the front to make it a question. So do this and do let me know, how did you find this lesson? Was it useful? And are you looking for some other subjects, some other topics? Do you have any doubts? Drop it in the comments so that I can answer all your questions in the future videos. And also you will be finding a link to my course where you will be having an opportunity for just for the next 5 days to enroll into my course at flat 50% offer. This is a crazy price that I'm giving it to you, which I'll not be giving it in the future. So do check out the offer, and it's valid only for the first 5 days from now on. Okay, so do check out there, and there's another link where you will be able to join into my closed community where we'll be getting to meet, discuss. You can ask all your queries, doubts, and I'll be coming once in a while to answer all your questions, doubts, and I'll be able to clarify all your doubts, and I'll be able to serve you more and more. So once again, do subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss out all the amazing offerings and value sessions that I'm going to share in the future. Bye bye. Take care until then.